I wanted to talk about emotions today. And something that I don't hear people talk about a lot is really the role of emotions. When we think about emotions, it's useful to think of them as messengers. Emotions are messengers. Every signal from our body, every emotion is all a message from our deeper unconscious mind. But the role of emotions is very specific. And each emotion has a job to do. Anger is a natural response to a boundary violation. Sadness tells us what's important to us, that something matters. There are different variations of these emotions. Hurt is a version of sadness, frustration, irritation, or these are mild versions of anger. The big core ones, of course, are sadness, are anger, are fear. Fear has an important role. It's to keep us safe. And then, of course, there are the positive emotions. But of course, we're going to focus on the negative ones because that's more fun. Unfortunately, in our society, we are really routinely taught to ignore our emotions, not to get the message, to ignore the message, to deny that it exists. And what happens is our deeper mind, it stores the emotions in our bodies until such time it believes that we can handle them. And sometimes that's like that day never comes. And so those emotions start to accumulate in our bodies. And then when something small happens, somebody cuts us off in the road, maybe a fear response will get triggered, and that's reasonable and normal. But when we then get really angry and we start like chasing them down, have you ever seen that? Like that guy chases the other guy down into the parking lot and then wants to get into a fight. Let's just say that's a little bit of an outsized emotion. That's a lot of anger that just hasn't been dealt with. Or maybe there's something like we hear a certain lyric in a song and then we just find ourselves sobbing and sobbing about it uncontrollably, or some scene in a movie. And again, these can be outsized responses, or just completely losing our temper with our kids is a really classic one with parents about something. This is a sign that there are emotions that have been accumulating that haven't been dealt with. Obviously, the work that we do unlocks a lot of the emotions that have been stored up in the past, but at least in the present, what you can do on your own is that whenever you do have an emotion, instead of tamping it down and stuffing it down, or denying it, or saying, okay, be reasonable, move on, or breathe deeply through it. Sure, maybe, if you're with another person, maybe you want to do that in the moment. But as quickly as you can, and especially ideally in the moment, if it's possible, you really want to notice what it is. Feel where it is in your body. Emotions have different links to different parts of the body. Anger is linked to heart disease. If you deal with anger like we did with a client, his blood pressure went down the next day. It was just like his doctor was like, "What did you do?" He called us up. He was like, yeah, I'm a little, should I be concerned about this?" We're like, no, this is healthy. It's linked to different parts of the body. So you can check in with your body, notice where that emotion is, and welcome it. Like, thank yourself. Thank yourself. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. Now, what do I need to learn? What do I need to do about this? What's going on? What matters to me? If I'm sad, oh, this is important to me. What can I do? I'm angry. Oh, what happened here? Maybe it's not real. Maybe it's not. If it's not, that's information. You can say, okay, let's let this go. But the important thing is just not to keep denying and tamping it down. It's to deal with it. Okay, I hope that's helpful.